welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
Well, hopefully you're as excited as we are in the inaugural new setting for the Don and Gino Show. After 8 years of doing radio and podcasting, we decided to change it up and make this a little bit more friendly for you, and we're super excited. This is actually our first show with our new studio. What do you think, Gino?
Well, I feel great. I feel comfortable. I just hope I don't fall asleep in these comfy couches.
I know.
It feels good right here. Or so many years sitting at the radio table like that. I like it.
Look at this, body mics, casual. We got our new screen.
Yeah.
Way to go, Furman. Furman and Megan help us set this up, and this is really exciting. So our goal is to continually add value and guiding you into personal and financial wellness. Nothing has changed in that, and we're still bringing on the best of the best we can find to let you know what's really happening in real estate, finance, and so much more. 8 years of doing this. Check us out at donandgino.com.
Stealing my stuff.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, as usual, you can go to donandgino.com and check out our YouTube channel. We have thousands of videos on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is also our hub, so you can go to the National Real Estate Cafe. You can check out America's Professional Resource Group and all the other things that Don and I are involved in.
That's right. So today we decided to bring in one of our good friends and a expert in the field, because basically we've been in this industry a long time. We have worked with this individual forever. A good-looking, strapping guy we figured we'd bring in for our first show to make our show look that much better. Plus, he's super experienced, super fun. We brought in John Gardella with Finance America. Welcome, Johnny.
Guys. I feel like I'm like on the Ellen DeGeneres show, man. This is like good stuff.
Deal.
Nice.
Right?
So it's working.
Oh, it's totally working.
I mean, look, we
got
our little coffee cups and everything. How about that? Cheers, guys, to the inaugural show. Welcome, Johnny. Now, you're going to notice that John is no stranger to the camera. He actually is a previous actor and model and all that good stuff.
Voice?
I know. And it does, it's right. He's good looking and he's very articulate. So, but what's really nice is John is also experienced in the field. We've worked with John for years and years. He's been a sales manager, recruiter, top producer forever. And what's even better, he's super honest. He'll tell you what it's really like, what's really happening in the markets. So we wanted to start off by asking John some simple stuff. What got you in the business, buddy, and how long you been doing it now?
Well, I knew you had to bring the acting thing into it,
of
right?
Course, of course.
That was cool. So instead of the typical actor, waiting tables at night, I decided to answer an ad in a newspaper for a telemarketer needed in a mortgage company, right? So I got my start in the mortgage industry by telemarketing, cold calling.
Wow.
And get this, right? This was like out of the phone book, starting with the A's, 100 calls a night, just calling people and saying, hey, can we refinance you, no cost, from down to 9.5%, right? Which in 1993, 94 when I got into this, right? Yeah. Was taking people from 10 to 11 down to 8.5%, 9%. Got really good at it. My broker who hired me really thought I was doing a good job. Said, go get your license. Went and got my license. Was kind of balancing the acting world with the mortgage world a little bit. And then the mortgage world just kind of...
Paid better?
Paid better. Paid a lot better. When I made as much in the mortgage industry in the first 3 months that I made in acting in 3 years,
Welcome to Hollywood, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer.
You know, what's interesting is you bring up a point. It feels like everybody gets into this industry by accident. And you're not so much. You actually got recruited into the industry a little more naturally into the financial world. I just got tired of getting ripped off.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the guys that were doing my loans were just ripping me off, putting me in prepayment penalties, bait and switching me, quoting me a rate. Docs came out with another rate. I mean, the worst. The worst of the worst, which I met through Lending Tree. Careful with that. That's just a lead service, not a lender. Well, that's
true. It's true.
All truth.
Yep.
And so I met those guys, and they were taking advantage of me. So finally, I looked for a different source, and they said, "Hey, do your own loans.
Yep.
You can do your own loans here." At that time, it was easy. 2004-ish.
Right.
It's pretty easy to do a loan. So I met those guys and got sucked in.
So you just been 04, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How about you? When did you get started?
94.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good God, Don.
87.
87? Oh my God.
I started when I was 12, knocking on doors.
Graduated from high school.
I know, pretty much straight out high school, straight out of college.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
So, but I mean, and obviously we love what we do, and I know you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we've worked with you forever.
Absolutely.
So, you know, what's really nice is it happens in our industry where we end up having to, or due to opportunities or necessities or consolidation, we end up working for multiple companies. You and I have worked with 3 different companies together at least.
Right.
So why Finance of America? I mean, we know why we're with them, and we know why we get to work with you and your lovely wife,
Right.
Leslie, but why Finance of America?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all starts at the top, right? So, you know, leadership, right? So, I mean, obviously, Finance of America, I'm sure you guys will agree, we have the best leader in the mortgage industry, bar none,
Yep.
right?
Icon
Bill,
in the
you know,
industry.
Bill Dallas leading this thing is the reason, and a main reason, why I've continued to stay and be a part of and help grow Finance of America. Bill and I go way back. We're good friends. Our kids played Pop Warner football together. He's just a good human being. Not
Well, you
good-
know that through Oaks Christian, of course,
Sure,
as well.
sure.
Which he founded and,
Right,
and a big
right.
part of, and your whole family's been a big part of it.
All
Your
3
son
of my
was a
kids.
quarterback there.
Yep, all 3 of my kids have gone through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's not only just a good leader, but he's a good human being. And I think that is the big reason why I'm at Finance of America. I think the policies and the different types of programs that they put together, the fact that they're starting to get into this non-QM world,
Yeah, baby.
which I think is something we should talk about a little to the audience, right? I mean,
because they might not know what it is, but we should tell them why it's important.
But I mean, just the product of Finance of America, the fact that residential lending is covered from A to Z at Finance of America with very little brokering, and I think that's a big reason.
Well, we can touch on that a little bit. So what John's getting at is not all lenders are created equal, and you have the opportunity, obviously, we're a direct lender, basically. You also have banks, you have credit unions, you have online lenders. There's a big difference between it. For example, online lender, a lot of them are not true professionals. They actually are working with marketing companies that answer the phone and try to get you the lowest rate possible.
Wait, did you know that Quicken doesn't have FHA lending?
Either does
At all?
or either is Wells Fargo right now.
Wells Fargo just cut it out as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I didn't know.
Talk about an awesome product that
Yeah.
they just don't offer, pretend like it doesn't exist.
So thank you for teeing that up, because that's my point. Is not all lenders have all the products that it could be best for you. Credit unions don't have all the products. Banks don't have all. Online lenders definitely don't. I mean, a lot of our marketing companies. You realize one of the main marketing companies that pushes out their loans, only 7% of those loans actually get approved. How about that?
Yeah, and don't be lulled into a false sense of security because you got an approval letter. Unfortunately, there's kind of a direct correlation. The easier it was to get your letter, the less the likelihood you're actually going to close.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, I really like at Finance of America is our ability to take a buyer and approve them entirely, right? Mm-hmm. To where we can submit offers, or we can have realtors submit offers and pre-approval letters from us with no loan contingencies.
That's right.
Because we are one of the few mortgage companies out there that will actually approve a loan, underwrite a loan, condition a loan without them even finding a property yet. I think that's you're not going to find that at the banks.
I am going to take it one level further. Now, although this isn't right for everybody, we also have the ability to lock your loan before you found a home.
Wow.
I mean, so we have a lot of tools that others don't. And I think that's a great reason to be at Finance of America.
Well, you have all the products. I mean, we have literally like 300 products. We have all the tools, mortgage coach, MBS highway. I mean, we can go through and on. So we can actually give you a true total cost analysis, not just an estimate that you don't understand. It actually breaks down what your true cost is and what your true options are and compare those options. But on top of it now, John, you started to tee it up that we now have some product to help, especially in our Los Angeles region and California with self-employed borrowers. We're now creating our own products to help self-employed borrowers and other people that are having a little trials and tribulations trying to get a loan. We're now creating product for you.
Right. And I think in my world, right, which is more of the Westlake, Ventura County, Calabasas area, a lot of self-employed people out there, right? So self-employed people, as we know it, have a ton of write-offs, and sometimes looking at tax returns on a self-employed person, they don't qualify for a lot, right? So to be able to take 12 months bank statements, personal bank statements, or 24 months business statements, and be able to add up those deposits, divide by 24, divide by 12, and use that for the income, and only put 10% down to 1.5 million, right? I mean, this is crazy stuff, and it's really, really attractive to the self-employed borrower.
Yeah, and then we've also got the other proprietary product is 5% down
Right.
On a jumbo loan with no MI up to $3 million.
Up to 3 million.
Yeah, I mean that's not for everyone either.
No,
not
I
everybody
agree.
only wants to put 5% down
I
on a
agree.
$3 million house, but we have it.
Yeah.
And it's a tool that's there, and I think that in the world that we live in, particularly in LA, it's just good to have a lot of tools in your arsenal.
Yep.
And actually, someone that's really slick and a great investor that's borrowing money at, let's just say, call it 5.5%.
Sure.
If they can invest it and make 10%. Then they should borrow as much money as they possibly can.
I agree.
Every single time. So if they're a savvy investor, it might be a great product for them.
I agree.
Well,
I
another
agree.
key factor to listen, you're hearing about all these different products and these abilities to get certain people into loans, and the good thing is this is responsible lending. These are borrowers that actually qualify. We're proving that they have the funds, they have the income. We're proving it. It's not a stated, because we're going to clarify. You're like, oh, here they go again. This is what brought us into this trouble and why we had the mortgage meltdown. No, this is responsible lending. We are proving that, hey, look at their deposits. They are showing that they make this kind of money.
But I will start to preface that
Yeah.
the industry is changing.
It is.
Mortgage credit availability is rising.
Mm-hmm.
Product innovation has begun. And that all stems because you have equity growth.
Yep.
Right. So as you have equity growth, the fear of default minimizes, and as the fear of default minimizes, return improves, and as return improves, risk minimizes, and people start to take more risk.
Right.
And so it's just nature, right? We talked about this the other day. It says, is it going to happen again? Yeah, hopefully not to the degree that it happened last time.
It
because
won't go to that
was-
degree.
That was crazy.
Yes.
What happened in the early 2000s was rampant fraud. That wasn't right. So it wasn't the product
Throughout the
that was
industry,
problem.
through the
No.
stock market, not just the
Everywhere.
lending industry.
All financial
All
markets.
financial markets.
Yeah.
So since it's not going to be as rampant there because there's more checks and balances, we're not going to have the big drop off. So why don't we talk about that? It's a good tee up for another segment. Let's do another segment with you, John, if you're okay with that,
Sure.
on where the market's at and where you think it's heading. Because there's a lot of fear out there that the market's going to tank someday. What's going to happen with it? There's a bubble coming, all this. You're super experienced. You're out there in the market like we are. You're a producer, you know, like we are.
Yeah.
It helps. So when we come back, we're going to let you know where the market is today, where we think it's going to head. Right here on the Don and Gino Show. Find out more at donandgino.com.